In this video, I would like to talk about Canada and the pros and cons of Canada. I'm not a Canadian expert. I'm just on holiday in Canada. And in case you haven't been following my videos, this is part of my round the world trip with my 3-year-old daughter. So we flew from Hawaii to Vancouver, and then I flew from Vancouver to Calgary, and we went to Banff National Park. So when we arrived in Canada, I felt that the Canadian immigration was very efficient. They had all our details on their system, so all we had to do was enter our passport details into their system, get a printout, make the customs declaration, and then they just looked at the passport, and then we just entered Canada. So yeah, the immigration system was a lot quicker than entering the US. So when we walked out of the airport, I felt that the weather was a bit chilly, even for August. I underestimated the weather in Canada, so I didn't bring much winter clothing with me, and my daughter doesn't like cold weather, and she was complaining all the time about the weather. But the truth is that in Canada, it's only cold during the mornings and in the evenings. It's usually warm from 10 a.m. in the morning to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we took the train from the airport to Canada Place, which is the center of Vancouver. That's where all the cruise ships go. In the city center, everything looks perfect, but if you go a few blocks away, if you go to Chinatown, for example, there are a lot of homeless people. So yeah, Canada does have its homeless problems because housing is quite expensive in the city. So in Vancouver, there is a park called Stanley Park. It's a very, very big park, and I felt that Canadians are very healthy. You can see the locals jogging, skating, and cycling inside the park. And inside the park, they also have lots of children's playgrounds, outdoor playgrounds with lots of trees. Yeah, it's very nice because it's not something that I can find in Hong Kong. We rented a bicycle for 10 Canadian dollars per hour. If I was by myself, I could probably do the whole park in 4 hours, but because I'm with my 3-year-old, I had to cycle slowly, and we only covered part of the park. But yeah, I really enjoyed that park, and I think that most big cities in the world do not have a large park inside the city center. I mean, this really is a very big park, and then we had a meal in Vancouver, and we paid 50 Canadian dollars, which is, I think it's a normal price in the Western world. I mean, it's probably the same price in America and in Europe. And then we went to Calgary. So I like Calgary more than Vancouver because Calgary is a lot smaller, and it's built on a grid, and basically the bus system's really good because if you buy your ticket on the bus, you can actually use this ticket to transfer to other buses within 90 minutes. And you can actually buy the ticket on your phone using their app, and you just use the QR code to get on the bus. And every time you need a ticket, you can just buy it using a credit card. And it's something that Hawaii doesn't have. It's something that I haven't seen in the US. So in Calgary, I decided to go to Lake Louiseand Banff National Park and Banff. And basically, if you take public transportation, it will take you 8 hours to get there return. So I just took a taxi there, obviously because I'm with a child. I paid 200 Canadian dollars to go to Lake Louise and Banff. Yeah, I think that the nature there is really good. I mean, clear skies and lots of trees, and the lake was really beautiful. You don't see many lakes, with this kind of color. And it's the first time my daughter saw snow. And basically, my daughter complained when she went there because she didn't like the weather. She doesn't like cold weather, but obviously when she grows up, maybe she'll appreciate it a lot more. And the weather is very unpredictable in Calgary. At least that's what my experience was. I mean, it can be sunny during the daytime, but it will rain. All of a sudden, it will start raining. We also went to Banff National Park. Banff. We also went to Banff. And I personally don't think it was impressive because, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. The buildings around there they look really nice and it's clean, but I can find the same thing in Germany or Switzerland. So I don't think it was impressive. But when we went there, it was raining. So we just went there and then we just left. Also, we stayed in a place near central Calgary. And not many cities in the world have parks in the city centre. And just next to the city centre in Calgary, there is also a park. I think it's called Prince Island Park. But anyway, you tell me if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe I've forgotten the name of it. But anyway, that park is also quite big. Not as big as Stanley Park in Vancouver, but my daughter also spent some time in the park, and honestly, I cannot find this kind of park in Hong Kong. Having said that, I think that Canada is still quite an expensive country. I wouldn't live there. I think it's okay for a holiday, but the weather was definitely a bit cold. Also, when we flew out of Canada, we went to Calgary Airport, and inside the airport, I like the fact that they have a mini playground inside the airport because we had to wait for the plane, and so because it's not difficult. I mean, it's not easy to travel with a 3-year-old. You constantly need to give them entertainment. So yeah, that was good. Okay, then that's my assessment of Canada. Overall, I think Canada is okay. It definitely has a lot of nature. Canadians are friendly, and if you like outdoor activities, Canada is a nice place, but it's just simply too cold and too expensive.